Hey everybody, Jukfa here with another video. First off, before I start, I just wanted to apologize for the lack of activity on my channel for the past several weeks. I know I haven't really been active since the Budget Jedi Diorama live show on Star Wars Live, which I did deeply enjoy, by the way, and you should check out if you haven't already. There we go, a little plug for Star Wars Live. I've just been really busy with schoolwork and stuff, obviously coming near the holidays. Things get a bit more busy at school and at work too, I imagine. So I just haven't really had the time to film any videos, and when I do have the time, I just really have not felt quite like filming any videos. And my motto is to never force yourself into making videos, because when you do that, then the content that you put out is not usually that great. So I finally do have some time and some energy to film a video, and this is actually in case you couldn't tell by the picture there, of the Black Series Mara Jade. Now this is definitely a figure that was one of my most anticipated figures for the Black Series of both scales. Because Mara Jade, we haven't really gotten a definitive figure of her. So she was first made into a figure in the Power of the Force 2 / Power of the Jedi line, which was good for its time, but obviously by today's standards it's very much antiquated. And several years ago we got a comic pack with Luke Skywalker and Mara Jade, but that figure has plenty of problems as well, if you're familiar with it. And so finally we're getting hopefully a definitive version of Mara Jade, and as you can see here, this is the inspiration for the figure is Shannon McRaddle, I believe. The actress's / model's name that is most famously associated as being the image or the most common representation of Mara Jade in live-action form. She did in the late 90s and early 2000s for a Star Wars card game, and pretty much she's been synonymous with Mara Jade ever since. And as you can see here on the packaging, they do use her likeness up there for the little corner logo for Mara Jade. So that's very cool, a little reference there for all you Mara Jade fans. And like I said, definitely a character that's very cool, very awesome character. That she was first introduced in Timothy Zahn's Heir to the Empire novel, which of course is, in my mind, essential reading for any Star Wars fan out there. And if you're familiar with her character, then you know she's just really badass. No other way to put it. So yeah, so let's get to it. And here's the packaging. I already showed you a little bit of it. I got mine off Amazon.com for the brief period of time that they did have her in stock when they restocked her. And actually, just to point this out, that mine actually did come with this glue already just gone, so I didn't even have to open up the figure. Just went boop, pulled out the plastic insert. And so yeah, that is a bit of a cautionary tale if you're a carded collector. It doesn't really affect guys like me that like to take their figures out of packaging, but just for your information. So here, standard Star Wars The Black Series. This is actually the first solo carded 3 3/4 inch Black Series figure that I've reviewed. So I'm just going to give my brief opinions on the packaging. Personally, yeah, definitely far inferior to the Vintage Collection packaging. I think it's paramount to a crime that Hasbro did not give us a Vintage Collection release of Mara Jade. I mean, it just, for such a key and essential expanded universe character, it seems like that should have been, you know, a no-brainer to give us a Vintage Collection release. If we're giving characters like Malgus or Shae Vizsla, who have only had a brief appearance in a video game, a Vintage Collection release, but we're not giving Mara Jade one, that just doesn't really seem to make sense to me. But, you know, it's pretty plain packaging. Like I said, again, there's the likeness to the actress there in the corner where she's got her little headgear on, which unfortunately we do not get with this figure, but number 14, Mara Jade, Star Wars The Black Series. That orange lighting, kind of like Death Star or something. And then, again, this is actually another problem I have with it, is the pictures on the back are very, I wouldn't say that they're hard to make out, but it's just they're so washed out that it's hard to make out finite details. Like, you can get pretty much the basic image of what this is, but, you know, you can't really pick out any little nitpicking details on it. And I believe I've actually seen the color version of this, and this is actually just a CGI image of Mara Jade standing in front of a bunch of stormtroopers, and there's a Star Destroyer floating by, which doesn't really make any sense, but hey, you know, it's a cool image. But anyway, so there's that, and a incredibly short sentence of a little biography of her, and it says, an assassin for Emperor Palpatine, Mara's life changes when she meets and eventually marries Luke Skywalker. So, yeah, doesn't really tell you a whole lot about the character besides she hooked up with Luke. And, again, it doesn't show what else is in the wave or anything like that. So, very plain packaging. Again, I much prefer the Vintage Collection packaging. I don't really see why they didn't just continue the Vintage Collection anyway, but I guess Hasbro felt like it was time for a change, and I guess, you know, there's no point in mourning what we can't change anyway. So that's the packaging. Now on to the figure itself, or herself, I should say. Let's see. I'm trying to focus in on her. I'm a bit rusty, as you can imagine. Yeah. This phone sometimes wants to focus, and other times it doesn't. So we'll just make do with what we can get. Oh no. Well, looks like it briefly wants to focus in or not. But anyway, so here's the figure itself. I must say that it's not as bad as I had feared that it would be. A lot of reviewers have been, especially like on different review sites that I've gone to, that I frequently check on for updates, and such as like Jedi Temple Archives and Rebel Scum. A lot of them have had major issues with this figure, and actually I do not mind this figure at all. I think it's a pretty darn good figure to me. It does my... Oh, there we go. Now we got lots of details. So again, a lot of people have been complaining. I'll just get right to it, is the face. The head sculpt. A lot of people said that the body sculpt is fantastic. Lots of articulation and lots of detail, and I have to agree with that. The body sculpt is fantastic and definitely really good for some female figure customs if you wanted to even. I know that I've already seen like some pictures. Somebody did like a head swap with a G.I. Joe figure and created Janice Orr from the Jedi Knight games, which I think is awesome. Specifically, that was Ed the Budget Jedi. He posted that on Facebook, in case you're wondering. So shout out to Ed. And but a lot of people have been complaining about the head. First off, the hair. This is definitely very much true about like the 90s/80s big poofy hair that Mara has, that you can definitely tell is inspired by Shannon's portrayal of the character and the her appearance with this big hair, which, yeah, it looks a bit oversized and silly because, you know, obviously this is kind of retro hairstyle for us, but, you know, technically Star Wars is a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, so who said that that long time ago couldn't be the 1980s? But anyway, in all seriousness, it actually is nicely sculpted, and actually I believe it has a little bit of paint wash in it. You can see those different black marks throughout the hair, which actually, personally, I always thought that Mara Jade was a bit more of a fiery redhead than kind of like, you know, this orange ginger color. But it's not bad, and they definitely put in a lot of nice detail into her hair too, so that's good. Another big thing people have had problems with is her eyebrows. Now, I know for a fact, on Jedi Temple Archives, the figure they got has very crazy eyebrows. It looks like almost like Professor Xavier from the 1960s X-Men comics, where it's just like, just out of this world, like very like kind of like almost really cartoonish, like just straightforward, like dashing up eyebrows that look just incredibly silly. And thankfully mine is not that bad. Her eyebrows are a bit thick though, but I don't think that they're that terrible on my figure. Now, I know that also I've seen on yakface.com they made a post about somebody who did a head swap with a Black Widow figure, and that looked really good too, so that's definitely an option if you're not happy or satisfied with the head sculpt that you're given. So you can always do that if you really want to. Personally, it's not that bad on mine, and this figure's going to be sitting on my shelf anyway, so from a distance, you can't really make out her eyebrows anyway. So, yeah, but definitely, actually, I really think that the eyes, they did a great job painting the eyes. You can definitely tell they're in this nice piercing green, which I think looks really cool. Onto her accessories, just to mention her accessories that she comes with an unlit lightsaber hilt, a lit lightsaber, obviously, and also, this very cool feature is a unique pistol. From what I've seen, I've never seen this pistol before, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is a 100% new, brand new molded blaster pistol that Mara has, which is very cool. Definitely really like it. It's nice and compact too, so definitely a weapon like an assassin would use, like Mara, obviously. And it comes in this holster, which you can actually unpeg from the figure. Let me see, just boom. You can see there's a hole there on her belt. And you can actually go around and put it on this much more traditional kind of like cowboy style gun holster. Personally, though, I like it in the back, just because, kind of keeping with her being an assassin, that she would, have it like a concealed weapon that she could pull out if she's facing an opponent. And also on mine, I think it sticks a bit better in the back. But yeah, definitely. So I really like this kind of a customization option. There's like, whichever way you prefer to have it, if you want to have her carrying it on her back or on her hip, you can definitely do that. So I think that's really awesome. As I mentioned before, the articulation on this figure is pretty good. Standard, pretty much articulation in the arms, ball shoulders and ball hinged elbows, swivel wrists. She has this diaphragm joint, which isn't too terribly effective. I can get a shot there. It's just under the chest level. So you can't really get a whole lot out of that. And also, just to mention, her head is on a ball joint, but her hair severely restricts what you can do with that. So pretty much the farthest I can get mine to look is about that. So a very slight turns. You can get a bit more on this side because she doesn't have that hair blocking it. But again, only very slight. There's definitely no way that you're going to get her to do a 360-degree turn with this, with her hair sculpted the way that it is. Going down here, her legs are swivel hips, ball hinged and swiveled knees, and ball hinged swivel ankles. So, yeah, definitely really good articulation. Again, it's kind of a bummer about the hair blocking her range of movement in the neck region. But, again, this is just going to be pretty much on my shelf anyway with the rest of my Star Wars figures, so it does not matter to me that much. But, again, I think it's actually a really great figure. It is a bit more... It's one of the more expensive figures now that the Black Series has been out for a little bit. This is part of Wave 2 of the Black Series. I believe... don't quote me on this, but I believe on Amazon she might be around like $20 now. Which, still isn't an awful price. Personally, I'm of the belief that you should never pay more than like, $10 to $15 for a figure. But, that's kind of personal preference, so whatever you want to do. If she is worth spending big bucks to you, then, go ahead and spend the big bucks to get her, because I definitely think she's a great figure, and probably the best Mara Jade figure that we've gotten so far. I don't have any of the previous Mara Jade, so I can't compare her to that. And also, just do a quick size comparison. Let me grab a figure off the shelf real quick. Here is another modern female figure, which is Princess Leia Bespin outfit from the Vintage Collection, The Lost Wave. And you can see that Mara Jade actually is a bit taller than Leia, which I think is really great because there's a tendency in action figure lines to make female figures smaller than male figures, just because I guess the assumption that all female characters are smaller than the male characters, but she's actually of an equal height to Luke. I don't have Luke on hand to show it to you, but like the Jedi lightsaber construction Luke and the Death Star escape Luke, or I don't know, pretty much the Jedi Knight Luke. They're the same height too. So I think that's great because I've always thought of Mara Jade as an equal to Luke Skywalker. So definitely great that she's of equal stature to him as well. And of course, as we all know, Carrie Fisher is supposed to be a shorter lady, so it would make sense that Mara Jade would kind of tower above her. So there's that. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about this figure. Again, really great figure. Definitely, I'd say worth picking up for all of you Timothy Zahn, Heir to the Empire fans out there like myself, and OT fans, Expanded Universe fans, and just Star Wars in general. So definitely a great figure. I'd say worth picking up. And it's kind of hit or miss with the head sculpt paint job. So you might want to, if you see on the rare chance that you see multiples of her in the store, then you might want to look through the pegs and see which one has the best head sculpt paint job. So by mine, I don't think it came out that bad at all. So thank you guys for watching as always. This is Joker Fett signing out. Bye.